Victor started off as a client. I would do random modifications on his cars, and he's become my biggest patron. The dude, I don't know how many cars I've built for him, but if you look at the examples of where this man goes, his cars are top-notch.
And throughout our relationship, has been able to achieve anything I ever wanted to do. The guy's got an imagination that I've never met anybody that has like his way of thinking. Everything we do is art. These are not cars, these are works of art, they're sculptures.
Victor's cars are full custom stuff, really artsy, and he trusts me to just go off with my own designs, and if they work, he follows through with it. Otherwise, we just collaborate on a lot of stuff. Victor and I are up at this car show up north, and this dude's got the king bubble top of all bubble tops. Apparently, it's the biggest one in the world. This car is out of control. Victor says he wants one, and I gotta pull it off. He got this old T-Bird, never got finished. I think it'll be a perfect candidate. This T-Bird project, in my idea, was like a speedboat with wheels. It was this crazy motorized transformer-type Thunderbird. And Victor just wasn't happy with it. He wanted to take it further, and it just stalled out.
The reason why I picked the Thunderbird, looking at the car, I knew I wanted to do something crazy with it.
The cool factor about this car is it's radically customized. The whole rear has been cut off and remade. It's got a wild lift-up cockpit. The hood is reversed. It's on air suspension. To take this car further is really like out of control. I got a couple ideas using some sheet metal, some plywood, and angle iron with a masonry board as insulation. I need to build an oven big enough to heat this thing. So what I ordered was 2 different thicknesses of plywood. The heavier stuff will be the form for the Lexan when we inflate it. The thinner stuff is for the walls. And the masonry board is insulation, and the galvanized steel is just something hopefully to reflect the heat and protect all of it. The loose factor about this oven is there's no way to test it except to do it. So I'm gonna build it, fire it up, see what happens. We're gonna build a frame to hold these masonry sheets and then cut the plywood and sheet metal to match. The cool factor of this whole bubble top thing is like, I've seen this since I was like 8, 10 years old. You know, these cartoons of cars with crazy plastic roofs. How the heck do they do that? I've always wanted to find out. Every project I do, I'm really just trying to push my skills. This plastic experiment is really next level. I've never tried anything like it, and it's a huge challenge. Next step is to take the rest of the angle iron and create a perimeter frame that'll be for the lid. The lid's gonna be a few different sandwiched pieces. It all kind of has to fit together, so I'm just gonna finish up the heavy welding here and bring it to the location. The rest is all screws and wood. I used to work in a foundry, and they had this huge kiln, and it had this perfect porthole that you could look into it. So I'm just gonna cut a hole in the box and make the same little door that I saw on this kiln. Got a couple portholes cut in the thing, got a couple barbecue grills. We're just going for it. It makes some heat. Let's put the lid on. In keeping with the low-tech approach, I've got some plumbing pipe, simple gauge, and some air fittings. The idea is to just create a controlled air source to inflate this thing. Target temperature for this is 375 degrees to get the plastic that hot. I had the idea that this laser thermometer would be a perfect way to check out the temperature, and yeah, the readings are consistent, it's heating up, and it seems like it's gonna happen. Pretty weird. This huge sheet of plastic, as it heats up, it's starting to deform. It's getting like all wobbly looking, and just putting a little bit of air pressure in it.
And just strategically putting the air in and heating it up, and I walk up out of coming from a project that I was on, and I said, Ian, crank it up, let's take it to the limit.
Yes, Captain. Taking it to the limit,
Take it all
as
the way.
requested. That didn't work. Shut her down. I turned my head for a second, and it was like, what was that?
Within 2 minutes, the thing started tweaking and blowing, and I could see the look on Ian's face, like, what the hell did you make me do now?
Shut everything off. It's gonna melt the plastic real bad. I quick turn around, peeking in the hole. I can't even see what's going on. I'm seeing sheet metal. I don't know what's going on because the whole thing appears to have collapsed. The whole thing's collapsing. I don't know what to do. I stuck my arm back in the oven to hold the thing up and kind of get a look, and it's just destroyed. We gotta lift the lid up and see what went wrong. It looks like the metal and everything tore right out of the roof of the box. It tore off the lid.
So we actually damaged and warped the first mold. I said, you know, just crank the pressure on, and that was the wrong thing to do, but hey, it's a good story.
This thing was twice as big before this broke. So what happened was he lost air pressure and it shrunk. What a bummer. To most people, this thing looks like an utter failure. I'm gonna work through it. This directly relates to my process because I don't know what I'm working with. Most of the time, I don't know where I'm going. So this is where it failed. It ripped off of the backer board. You can see it's all jacked up on one side. But what this does is it proves that the theory works. This whole process is pretty mysterious. The only guy I can think of to talk to about it is Gene Winfield. One tip that Gene gave me, which I have seen, is keep the temperature even. You know, be really careful about how this thing heats up, because if you get a hot spot, it's gonna deform. So I guess it's keep the air pressure low, keep the temperature up,
Yep.
and just
Put,
be cool with it,
put your
right?
manila folder in there so it doesn't hit directly on the hot plexi. I use a manila folder and I cut it into kind of a diamond or star shape and staple it down so when the air hits it, it distributes the air evenly in all directions.
Everything I've done was really by the seat of my pants. But after talking with Gene, he gave me a few tips, and he's been successful time and again, so this makes me think I can get this. When I saw you with the bubble top, it's like, I've been thinking about this since I was 15 years old. And it's like, that's how
I
you
can
do it.
do that.
Right, it's like, this is like, you know, no vacuum machine, no nothing.
Right. I think that Ian's a real good craftsman. He's up and coming, and he's going to do a fabulous job. And I think he's going to go back and rework that bubble and redo it again, and it'll come out fine for that T-Bird. Shouldn't be a problem.
Unbeknownst to me, the car is painted. This T-Bird is really like an evolving piece for him, and he's finished it to a certain degree. I think he's just trying to get the final exterior look. I think if I just put a bubble top on it, this sucker's finished. My plan is working. The slow heat, the low pressure, it's not over 3 PSI at any point. It's very low air pressure. And the thing is taking a great shape. It's the best one yet. There's none of that weird deformity like we had on the first try. Thing looks freaking smooth, man. It's nice. Lifting the lid up, this is a home run. It looks like magic. It's better than I hoped. Look at the radius on the front of this, man. It stood up really good. My whole life has led up to this, my entire career. Look at the freaking front, dude. It's like, bing. We set it on the car, and the contour, front to back, it's a part of the car already. I think that's the top. I think that's the right bubble for this car. That's perfect. It's perfect. This thing's on the car for 15 minutes. Everybody's praising it, you know. Wow, yeah, that was a great experience. Victor wants to go bigger. He wants something better than this.
When I seen it come out, I said we achieved our goal. And if we were normal people, we would say, all right, let's get the hell out of here. We're done, but we're not.
Technically, bigger means more heat, more air pressure, a little more time in the oven. And we've already proven that that amounts to disaster. But Victor wants more. We were really successful with this last dome we inflated. The proportions are dead on. Talking with Victor, he wants to max it out. That's how he rolls. We're gonna just push it hotter than ever and more pressure than ever. We're gonna get the biggest shape we can out of the box that we have. I'm following the same procedure as the other times. This time though, I'm gonna let it cook a lot longer. The way this one's coming together, this one seems to be coming out the smoothest of all of them. I just don't want to get it too close to the flame because that's certain death. It's still pretty nerve-wracking. There's uncharted territory. How hot can you go? How much pressure can you put in? We'll see how hot it gets. This bubble is enormous. It's getting so close to the barbecue grills. My plan is to turn off the heat and then hit the air. That way there's no flame. It's just hot air. Houston, we have a problem. All right, let's try to cool it. I think we could save it, but it's definitely giving out. See the edge is all warped out? Yeah, we got trouble. Fudge. I didn't realize how much force such a low pressure of air could exert. It's really crazy how steel and wood are deforming under the air pressure. I don't know how this is gonna work out. It's on the flange, which is kind of a bummer, so the flange will have a little warp in it. Similar to the first failure, just not as drastic. Well, we just gotta cool it off, so I'm gonna raise the lid and let some air circulate. I'm just holding it at 3 PSI. Raising up the chain hoist, and the thing looks sweet. It's enormous. Better than I hoped. I think it's over 2 feet tall. That's real good. It's quite a dome we've got there. You can see here, there's a little wackiness, but all in all, I think it's usable. It's pretty substantial. 22 inches. The other one was just under 16, so that's a pretty significant increase. So we're putting this thing on the car, but it's big. I mean, stand back and look at the thing. It's for a different car. It's too tall for this one.
When I seen it come out, and I went back to like we could do anything, and we're gonna try to stretch it even further.
So this whole mission of heating and inflating the plastic, that was like a fraction of where we're going with this. We got the bubble top, now we're gonna build a car that's suitable for it. The whole plan with the shape of this ring is to use the wooden backboard from the original oven. That way I'm sure that the contour matches this plastic bubble. The hardest part about this is gonna be this really tight radius at the front. I think what I'm gonna do is put the tube on the roller and create a gradual arc like it is through here. The thing with the bender is it makes perfect circles. This is kind of an ellipse, sort of like a spiral. So I'm gonna have to take that circular shape and tweak it. It's got a couple different radiuses in it. I'm gonna have to put the saw to use. I'm gonna have to just slice every inch or so and kind of fold in a tight radius for these corners. So the whole deal here is you can see how it was, but by slicing it, see, it makes a tighter radius. The whole idea is to just keep trimming it to fit. I'm gonna TIG weld all of this because it's gonna be a lot less finish work. It doesn't have a big built-up bead like the MIG welder, so it takes a little longer, but the finish time will be reduced because you'll see there's gonna be a ton of welds on this. See where it's at. It's darn close. I just got to put a piece in. What I'm going to do is sleeve these tubes inside so that it's a very strong join at the front where they come together. And then back here, I'm going to put some kind of a huge support plate that'll match onto that saddle there. Once I put the plastic on here, I'll just go through with a series of holes and put some kind of a rubber grommet. That way the metal is never touching the plastic. It's just suspended in like a rubber bushing. I knew I was gonna hit a wall somewhere in this project. The thing with the motor gear drive, I knew was gonna be a hassle. Yeah, so this motor needs a lot of room. I knew that this motor was gonna be a pretty big setup in the car, so I just cut out a bunch of sheet metal and then I just went in for the simple lift mechanism. This thing is working, you know, it leaves room for development, of course, but hey, look, it's happening, right? It's a little loose, but it's working. The ring that I've created to attach to this monstrosity is a 1x2-inch steel rectangular ring. Met them up in the center with about an 8-inch piece. And then here on the back, I threw it on the car and I mated it up to that big heavy saddle piece. This is the part with the pivot. And then I threw some supports along the side of that, and then a couple outriggers so that it's got a little more grab on the tube. The thing weighs about 60 pounds, and it's roughly 5 foot wide by 8 foot tall, and I'm hooking it up to an angry motor. Victor and I have done enough projects to know that his cars are gonna get cut up. It's just what happens. I'm just gonna chop a hole in the doors, modify that, set the ring down. You know, it makes it part of the car instead of just stacked on top of it. This whole thing is in its conceptual stage. These bubbles are so delicate, I don't want to ruin one of the keepers. I brought the damaged one to try out. That way, if it fails, no loss. So it's still not perfect, but it's working. As long as it lifts this plastic and spins it, I think we're going to Victor's. On to the finish. Literally, this car lifts up and spins around. It's awesome. You've never seen that before. Probably for a reason. Oh, it spun itself off of that block. It's kind of half carnival ride, half Thunderbird. I got it working. It's still kind of loose, but it definitely demonstrates Victor's concept perfectly. So it totally works. I'm gonna take it down to Victor and see what he thinks. Okay, I got this car back to Victor's. We'll see what he thinks about it. There's a couple small issues, but all in all, I think we're gonna work through it. It's really tough to say how Victor's gonna respond to this. I know he likes to far out stuff, but I also know he likes to see things delivered properly. I pull in with the trailer and I see Victor. He's not really jumping for joy, let's say that. The car shows up, it's half disassembled, there's a bunch of foam stuck to it.
When I first saw the car, I seen it was in the rough state. I want a system that will open up and rotate and be safe and secure. So that's what we talked about, and that's what I'm hoping to see today.
It's all there. It's proven to work. So that's kind of where we're at. I just need you to make a decision on whether you'd like it to spin or not.
How fast is it going up and how fast is it rotating?
It rotates too fast.
Like how fast is too fast?
Like it wanted to kill somebody. So let me show you the rotation. I'll ask you to stand back when I turn it on.
He put it on and it was rotating like very fast. He almost took off my head a couple times.
But just seeing this wild concept got his brain going in a whole new direction. Accomplishing this bubble top, I think I might have like blew a fuse or something in Victor's psyche, because now he's really going off the deep end. He's talking about some wild concepts, and we're only at the beginning of this next stage.